So I guess we could talk about the shortage of mining. So we were discussing that as well, as far as
well, you want to talk about China?
Yeah.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so last year China just went full like Terminator mode on crypto. Basically, they were having capital control issues where basically there were certain parts of because obviously we had the whole Android 19 epidemic sort of going on around the world, and they were having trouble controlling people. People were able to
When you say Android 19, what does that mean?
Oh, the COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was trying
Android 19. I was like, wait, no, it's fine. Okay, yeah. So COVID went down. All right, and then what?
Right. So basically, they have a lot of cheap electricity in China, right? So what they do is just get Bitcoin miners.
I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z and shit, man. What?
I mean, right now they're trying to get the Super Android 19.
Yeah. All right, my bad.
Fanboy.
Yeah. But basically, what's going on is that they have cheap electricity. They just they have the hardware. They can make it there in China, and then from there they can just make these Bitcoin miners. When you have a Bitcoin miner and you have free electricity, you can basically print money. So these guys who own these Bitcoin miners can make Bitcoin, and then from there they can sell this Bitcoin to people in China, and then these people end up having Bitcoin, and they can they're starting to have money outside the system. So it's a way for them to like build up a piggy bank so they can get the hell out of China. And the Chinese government knows this because they're super scared of capital flight. Because last time that they opened up the markets and stuff in order for like foreign investment to leave China, over $1 trillion left in under 6 months.
Wow.
$1 trillion.
Yeah. The billionaires are leaving China.
Yeah. It's going crazy right now. I mean, like there's a not to go full conspiracy theory right here, right? You know, X-Files, but oh no way.
I got you.
Yeah. But basically, what was going on is there's like we've been hearing kind of like whispers that there's kind of like open rebellions going on in China, especially in mainland China where like most of the farming is being done right now. But it's always been kind of quelled down. So they've been saying like, holy crap, like, you know, the whole COVID-19 thing is starting to come back only in certain parts of China. And those certain parts of China are just the places where the rebellions are starting to happen. I mean, you never hear this kind of news anywhere. And so we have people all over the world. We have students that took in the course and they're from China, and they're letting us know like what's really going down there. And it's really crazy right now because basically some of the main banks in China right now, and this is open news now. This news never gets out.
It's leaked out. Yeah,
it's leaked out that there's open protests because these farming banks have basically said, you know, your money's not yours anymore. I know it's a communist. It's crazy. They're communists and everything like that, but no one really believes that. They're like communists, but they use you know it's like business communism basically. It's like we have businesses and stuff. We're still entrepreneurs, so you still have your money, but the bank said no, your money's not yours anymore. It's ours, and the people are in the street protesting against the government right now, and like it's gotten so bad now that like it's literally on social media here in the West now.
Okay,
that's huge.
China always blocks out that type of thing to like not let people see that there's any unrest in their country.
Right. Yeah. So they're obviously the most authoritative country and controlling country of their population, and they censor the censorship. So the stuff doesn't leak out.
Yeah.
So this scandal with the banks, these farming, like in Henan, I think there was like 4 major banks, like $60 billion of basically people's money
like
is basically they're not going to get that back. And these are people that, so they're panicking. Obviously, this is all their wealth. Yeah. So, and in China right now, there's 100 billion holders of their digital currency, which that's a test because there's 1.5 billion people in China.
Right.
So they test things, and there's 100 million digital currency controlled, like the Chinese digital currency wallets that's being tested right now. They also have the COVID QR code vaccine deal. So like a lot of people were rushing from the cities to go get their money out of their bank, trying to before it shut down. And as soon as they got to the town, they looked at their phones and their QR code went red. Oh, so they turned them away. They beat them down. They turned them away. Like, this is all filmed and everything, all leaked out of China. And you talk about the Bitcoin miners in there. There's 22% still being done. Last year it was zero.
It was zero.
They keep banning it, but it's like whack-a-mole. It keeps popping back up again. So 22% of Bitcoin mining is now being done in China as of a year later when they got it from zero. So they're the biggest miner right now.
So let me get this straight. Basically, the Chinese are suppressing the mining of Bitcoin, have done so successfully, but the past year, it keeps popping up. And now China controls 22% of all new Bitcoin being made at the moment.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's like basically you look at Bitcoin like the bear bug, basically. Can't kill it.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep going. Yeah. So if China can't stop it, then that should give everybody a little bit of promise in the future. Where we're not so as authoritative, actually, besides Canada, where they took the money away from it. But,
well, like China's a really good test for all of this, right? Because like it
is
the stress test of Bitcoin and crypto. And at the local level, what people were doing essentially last year when they were forcing miners out of China, what they were doing at the local level is like a lot of Bitcoin miners had a lot of relationships with, like, for example, local electro plants, right? And so what they would do is like they'd go and talk to the people at the plant. They're like, we're a really good customer of yours. We'd like to do a lot of business. We'll give you some Bitcoin on the DL. Just what we'll do so that people don't see what's happening is when we get that fresh Bitcoin, we basically won't move it around on the blockchain. We won't have it, be obvious like who's owning it or anything like that. We'll change the names of like our mining groups and stuff like this. And then we'll also essentially, give you guys a little kickback for letting us do this. And, we'll just turn off our miners from time to time so it doesn't look like we're draining local energy sources. So if we do it like on a, kind of sporadic schedule, essentially the Chinese government won't be any of the wiser. And so if you have a lot of these local areas doing this in maybe more of the countryside areas, for example, they stayed under the radar for a while. And then, if they get noticed and pop up again, it's like, what are you going to do about it? They can try a lot of times, but they're so distributed around the country. It's like trying to, I know this is kind of a negative analogy, but it's kind of like trying to basically kill a terrorist network or take the head off of Medusa or something like that. You cut one part off, another grows back. And it's a really hard thing for them to actually control. And so what Steve was saying before about China specifically being so authoritarian, I think the citizens there, probably the ones who do want their freedom, those know the most like hardcore value of why cryptocurrency is needed in this world. And if it can survive there, it's going to do well pretty much anywhere.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Good sign.
So, Steve, can you talk to us a little bit?